Hey there, welcome to Bandit's Keep. I'm Daniel, and we're continuing building the Orc Lair, which is going to be kind of one of the side dungeons, if you will, to the mega dungeon that we're building. So, last video, I'll put a link. I kind of talked a little bit about why I'm doing this and how the game works. We talked a little bit about numbers of monsters and also treasure. We rolled up what treasure and what types of monsters will be in here as far as the orcs are concerned, and I kind of roughed out what I thought would be a general idea. This is kind of what I'm doing when I'm mapping. I just kind of make rough ideas of where things can fall. So what I did in between is I just made the map look neater, so it'll be neater for us. It's not a super fancy map. My feeling on maps is that there's lots of great, awesome maps you can get out there that are beautiful, great map makers. I mean, if you know a great map maker, put links in the comments. It's always great to grab awesome maps. But if you, I'm just going for functional here. If I was going to publish this or whatever event, which eventually I'll put it available for you guys, but if I was really going to publish it, I'd maybe hire a map maker or take time to do it. But don't feel like you need a fancy map in order to do this, is my point. You just need one that's functional and that has certain qualities. And I will talk a tiny bit about the map before we start, and then we'll kind of get into this. So I think if I go here, yeah, there we go. Nope, that's not the one. There it is. Now I'm small. Okay, just to show you guys, I built the map really simply. So you're going to enter over here. Okay, that's normally, right? That would be the front entrance of this thing. What I did do, which is kind of common in OD&D, they tell you to do this, you can see it up here. I drew a side view. So essentially what I decided was, because I built this thing based on a kind of well in the center, this is a tower that has sunk into the ground and the top's been kind of sheared off. So it's open to the sky in the center. I've decided that, which gives another way for the PCs to get in. That is, you can see that from the outside, and then also what you can see, so that's this. And then over here is basically the front entrance, which is the most well-guarded part of it. So, if you want to just go in the front door. Once you get in, you've got essentially two garrisons of orcs. You've got one here and one here. Those are going to be your on-duty guard orcs, if you will, right? They're the ones that are going to be armed, ready to go. They're not going to be surprised unless you do like a move silent or you have an invisibility or something, very, very careful to get in there. As you work your way through this corridor, which if you can get past them anyways, it's going to bottleneck down here. This room right here is going to be where you would meet the Chieftain if you actually had an appointment to meet him. So that's pretty cool if you want to go the negotiation route, or you just, there will be some treasure in there, of course, and it might be where he is or where he'd hold up. I am going to add here, got this little slant here. I'm going to put some murder holes for maybe crossbows or something. We did talk about the idea orcs don't really use mechanical stuff, so either I'll put it, not crossbows. Maybe I'll have them have like pikes they can jam through there. So if PCs or anybody try to run down the corridor, they might get attacked as they run past. That makes most sense for orcs, right? Up here in the corner, I've got what's going to be a secret trapdoor or concealed passage that goes underground and comes out to here to another secret door, which leads into a proper kind of hallway system that then leads down to the main orcs, the leader orc, the chieftain as it would be, to their lair, which is also a secret door. So that's basically their way to get in and out. Now, if they're being under siege, there's also a room right here, which is going to be, it's a secret room, that there'll be some orcs inside, and again, more of these kind of spear murder hole setups here. And there's a false door here with a trap, okay? The other place I'm going to do this murder hole thing, we got a theme going on, right? Again, people will have tactics, and this allows the PCs to learn the tactics if they want to work through it. This room right here is going to have more of these murder holes, so if they get that far, they start running by, they're going to get stabbed here. But these two rooms here are the main garrison, so they're going to hold most of the orcs when they're not kind of on duty. That's where they are, right? This room in here is basically a general room, which has got the waste disposal pit in the middle, which is kind of how I started this whole thing. And above it's going to be open to the sky now, okay? So again, that'll be a way in if PCs want to go that way. What I'm thinking, like I said, is it's a tower that crushed into the ground, and then the orc kind of dug out, or somebody did, and they created these tunnels. Over here is going to be a prison area, because a lot of people like to use these kind of monsters, orcs and stuff, as slavers. So maybe I'll have them have captured somebody, right? That's always a good hook to get the PCs there. And this is the more direct route to the chieftain's lair. He's not always going to want to crawl through a secret passage. That's really when he's got to retreat, right? And then finally, you've got the lair of the ogre, who is living with the orcs. They're supporting him or whatever to keep him around so that when they need him for the heavy fighting. Again, I didn't want to make it so that the ogre just had one way in. They had to walk through where the orcs work, because it doesn't make sense. So there are these tunnels that are running off, and I'm going to say that they run off and they come out somewhere. I've got several of them, because the idea will be if a PC starts to want to go through one of them, depending on how they do it, they might be able to figure out which one the ogre uses, or they'll just start crawling through them. They might encounter some other animals, or they might end up somewhere weird or whatever. So I'm leaving that open-ended for now. The one other thing I didn't point out that I added to the map is that right here in this first garrison room, I added a secret door that leads to the outside. But that's going to be hidden behind bushes and stuff. So the idea would be that if PCs came charging in, or anybody came charging in, some of these orcs are going to come out here. Of course, these orcs are going to put down a line with spears, right? But some of these guys are going to come out to confront them, and then some of them are going to go out and try to wrap around the back and use tactics, right, and block them in there. That's kind of what I'm thinking the orcs' plan would be. That's their, and the orcs are soldiers, right? So they've got, they're not quite as organized, let's say, as hobgoblins. I don't think it's in most people's minds, but they're still soldiers, and they kind of understand how to fight dirty, actually. So that's really cool. So that's what we're going to do. And what we're going to do right now is kind of stock the rooms. We're going to put our little descriptions in. We're going to put in some treasure and stuff. I might have to mess with the numbers a little bit as we go, because I want to make sure all the treasure can get in here. But let me clear this off. If there's anything in particular you guys want to see, let me know. My plan now is, because I know that people do like these adventures, but they're the adventure building and the map building stuff, but they're definitely not the most popular videos on the channel. So I'll kind of mix them in and out. So if you want to see other stuff besides this, or stuff related to it, let me know. But yeah, let's do this. So I'm going to go to this screen here. There we go. So we can still see our map up there. This is, if you missed the last video, this is basically what we got in here. We have 53 regular orcs, 6 leaders who basically have max hit points, 1 chieftain that has a lot of hit points, and then we have an ogre. Now, we already know where some of these people are going to be, right? The chieftain is either going to be in room 5 or 10. You know, generally when I'm doing this stuff, again, you could just leave it here and kind of play it by ear as people come in. But because I'm writing it as something for somebody to use, I'll make a choice that the chieftain is almost always in his meeting room unless he's sleeping or something, right? So I'll probably put him in room 5. That's my plan anyways. Or her, you know, we'll see. So I can right away say that room 5 is going to have the chieftain, right? He's going to be in there. Because remember, orcs sleep during the day. So during the day, the chieftain's going to be in room 10. Is going to be in room 5 at night. So I can just do this. Again, right now I'm just placing things. I think that's generally the best way to do this kind of stuff. So we have an idea of where all our orcs are going to be, and then we can start fleshing out the rooms as we go. So he's here. Let's see, where's my mouse? There it is. Oh, no. It gets so tiny on this because it's 4K monitor. All right, let's see. So the chieftain or room. Oh, also, I changed this up when I was first drawing it. I did it with 5-foot squares because I was just kind of roughing it out. I blew up the grid so that they're 10-foot squares now. I guess you would say during the night or at night would be a better way to say it, but during the night is fine. All right, so that's where the chieftain's going to be. The ogre, again, you know, and I know people sometimes make fun of this in games, like, oh, it's just sitting there waiting for the people to arrive, but that's just where it's normally at, right? The ogre's normal living quarters is essentially in room 8, so I'm going to put them there. And in rooms 3 and 4, we're going to put 10 orcs each. I decided 10 would be a good number. It's a little bit more than the number encountered that you're supposed to have when you like just encounter orcs. And I figure it's their lair, so it makes more sense. So I'll put 10 orcs there. And we'll put 10 orcs here. So there's going to be 10 orcs, but there's going to be 9 plus 1 leader. Okay. Same deal. So here we were using, out of our 53 orcs that we had above, we've used 18 so far, plus 2 of the 6 leaders, right? Now, in the the garrison room, the room 7A and 7B, or yeah, 7A, 7B. 7A. There will basically be, most of the rest of them. Now, not every orc is going to be there. So let's say that a third of the orcs are going to be up and about, or roughly a third of the orcs are going to be up and about during the day. Or I should say half the orcs. So about half the orcs will be active. So we're going to put the other half of the orcs in this garrison room. So we're going to put, so basically there's going to be another set of 10 orcs plus a leader wandering around. So, but in the actual, here we're going to put 15 orcs and 2 leaders. And that will be the same here. So 7B. So now we've got, 17, 17, and 10. And 10 is going to give us, let's see, then do the math again. 34, that's going to give us most of them, right? And the rest are going to be wandering. So we've got, let me just make sure, 17 plus 17 is 34 plus 10. So, okay, plus 20. So that's 54, actually. Right, so that's 54, which then leads us with just 6 orcs that are wandering around, which is fine. They can be in any generic place. Figure there's going to be in room 9, there's going to be at least 1, right? Maybe 2. Right? 2 orcs. Because I think we've got all the leaders now. So those will be regular orcs. And again, now that brings us up to 50. So the chieftain's probably not going to be by himself. So we'll put 4 people with the chieftain, right? So we'll put the chieftain and 4 guards. Okay, good. So let me add this up one more time. All right, so in room 3, we've got 10. In room 4, we got 10. In room 5, we have 4. In room 7A, we got 17. Got another 17 there. And then we got 2. Yep, that's 60. Okay. So that's basically replacing all of our orcs. Now, of course, we can always have, anytime an orc is wandering around, because we'll have wandering monster checks, right? Then what we'll do is we'll just remove them generally, probably from the garrison, right? Now, you might be saying, well, there's none in room 6, which I talked about as being a murder space, right? Well, of course, because they're going to come from 7 and go to 6. They're not going to that's not a place they'd hang out. That doesn't seem like that makes sense, right? And also in 11, right? So basically, if you consider this like this, if the place went under siege, the orcs that are here would come out here and here. The orcs that are here would come out here. The chieftain, if he'd probably take command from here. Some of his guys would be there with the myrtle spears, and then they'd of course ring an alarm. And some guys would quickly move into here, so they have that. The rest of them would probably hold this area there, right? And if need be, they could file up and help the chieftain. So basically, they've got a plan where they can come in when they need to, right? If the chieftain thinks he needs to fall back, he'll call more of these orcs up here to defend this area, and then he'll go down the secret tunnel, taking at least 2 guys with him to come into this room, right? The guys in room 9 are almost never going to leave because they're in guard there, right? So that gives us that kind of... I don't want to say real, but it gives us that idea that this place could be a real functional place, even though we are placing people. So now that we've done that, let's just kind of figure out what we got going on here. So nobody's going to be at the entrance the way I have it designed. So possibly the smart thing to do, again, now that I'm doing this, is to come over here and take 2 of the orcs from number 3, right? And put them at number 2. Okay. Now, number 1 is going to be empty generally, because that is again going to be our cesspool. Is that how you say? Is that how you spell cesspool? Cesspool. Or is it 2 S's? There's no S at all. All right, cesspool, right? That seems right. Okay. Look up cesspool. I just want to make sure I'm writing the right word there. Oops, no. Okay. An underground container for temporary storage of liquid waste and sewage. All right, that's it. Perfect. Cesspool room. Broken tower. Exposed to the sky. I mean, it wouldn't be like a 5-foot or 10-foot drop because the orcs aren't stupid. So let's say it's 30 feet plus a d6 times 10. 4. So it's 70 feet down. Okay. 70 feet from broken tower to the ground. To the floor, I guess it would be called, to the floor. The cesspool itself is, we'll say 50 feet. Okay. And I think the orcs don't know, about the passageway. Orcs are not aware of passage to Mega Dungeon. At least not yet. I guess Mega Dungeon would be like... Okay. So, again, we'll flesh this out in flowery language after. I just want to get an idea of where things are. So these guys are going to be on guard. They will be wielding... I mean, these are the main guys here. They're going to be wielding pole arms. There's going to be a lot of pole arms here. Okay. Same deal. I think these guys will have spears. Those be like guards should have pole arms, right? Spears. And now we've got to figure out. So these guys in rooms 3 and 4, it's not like they're like on guard, right? Because they feel like they're pretty safe. They got the guys out front, right? So they're going to be gambling and not paying a huge amount. I don't want to say. I'm just going to say gambling and being loud. Okay. I think the same is probably true here in both of them. And again, I mentioned in the last video that these guys will probably have a decent amount of treasure because of where they're positioned. So what we're going to do is we're going to give them some of the treasure because look at all the treasure we have. So we know that we've got 6,000 gold pieces, and I think I said I wanted about a third of it to be at this first area, which is a lot, I know, but I feel like they're gambling. This is where like the money is, right? And so a third of the gold is 2,000 gold pieces between 20 orcs. I feel like that might be a little bit more than I really want to. So what I think I'm going to do is each of these rooms is going to have piles of coins on the table. And then what we'll do is we'll say that there's going to be, I'll roll a d12 times 100. So they might have more than I said, or they might have less. 1. So this one's only going to have 100 gold pieces total. So that doesn't feel like a lot. So what I'm going to say is in copper and, not cooper, in copper and silver. And then you can figure that out. And in the other room, we'll do the same thing. There we go. It's 800 in this room. So this is definitely the room where they're really gambling. So this is going to inform me of something else. Remember that I said that the leaders would have these gems that recognize their level or their rank. So since there's so much gold in here, in this room, I'm going to have one of the higher level leaders here. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to take the 100 gold piece. No, Yeah, it wasn't 12. So I'm going to take the 100 gold piece gem and put it on this leader. And I'm also going to give him 100 gold pieces because he's a leader. And this leader, I'm going to give one of the, since this number's so low, I'm going to give him one of the 10 gold piece gems. And I guess I'm going to go gem, and we'll say 15 gold pieces. I don't want it to be the exact same amount. Okay. I'm going to have to add up all this gold when we're done, but I know I'm not even coming close to spending it all at this point. Okay, so again, the orcs at the front, we'll give them, we'll say a D12 gold piece, 12 for one, 1 for the other. One has 12 gold pieces, the other has 1. One gold piece. Okay. That's good. That's good. Okay, so now we've got, okay, so here's the chieftain is going to have almost all this money, right? So these leaders, again, let's go back into here, and we need to have, there's a 100 gold piece, a 50 gold piece, and 2 more 10s. So we'll say 10 gold piece gem, 50 gold piece gem. We'll spread them out, right? Gold piece gem, 50 gold piece gem. And then what we'll do here is, again, now they're back at the garrison. This is what I'm looking at. We're talking. Now they're back in the garrison. This is where they have their money stored, right? So I'm going to say there are actually in each of these rooms, there's a total of 30 men, 30 orcs that can live in each of these rooms, right? So there are 30-foot lockers, each with, and then I'm going to set an amount here. So I think I'm going to put, 30 times 100 is 3,000, right? So that's like half the gold. So I'll say each with 100 plus 2d20 gold pieces. Okay? Because the way I look at this is that the orcs are not the type that are going to just keep all their gold in one big chest. The leader wants to show off. So he has claimed the magic sword. He's claimed this jewelry that's worth a fortune, but he doesn't care about coins. I mean, he cares on some level, but he'll probably have like 1,000 gold pieces when this is all said and done. Okay? And again, if I have to cut it down, when I say leader, I should be saying chieftain. Okay, so the chieftain is, and again, in his like council room here, we're going to put half the stuff. So we'll put 500 gold pieces. And we'll put 2, well, he's showing off in the counseling room, right? So I'll put the 3 most valuable gems, jewelry rather, there. So I'm just going to go like this, make my life easy. Come down here, and I'm going to say the council room is number 5. I'm going to say he's got 500 gold pieces. And he's going to have 3 jewelries here. And they're going to be the most valuable ones. So we'll get rid of these 2. Because he's showing out. And again, we can play up with this, what these jewelries are when we get to... All right, he's got 4 guards in here. We'll just give them a D12 gold piece. I'm just going to make them all the same. Each with 4 gold pieces. Any of the remaining gold, I'm just going to put in a chest in the chief's room. So now down in this room, boom. 2 jewelries. Now, the thing we got to pay attention to here is that we don't want to make this confusing to ourselves, right? where the jewelry, I'm moving the chieftain around, but not the jewelry. So I need to make sure that's clear. So I'm going to have to make a little separate area here for monster and treasure. Now I'm realizing this. So here we go. Monster Chieftain. Treasure. I think the guards are fine to put there, but this way we know the treasure's separate. Because he's got the big box, right? I mean, if you screw up the other way, it's not going to be a big deal. But if you double up the jewelry, now we're really giving it away. Okay, let's see. This is looking good. Ooh. Where am I? Okay. These orcs right here, we will give, again, a d12 gold pieces apiece. 9 and 5. They're going to have spears as well. I feel like spears are the weapon of the orc. Okay. I'm going to put stat blocks and stuff in here eventually. I'm just trying to get this so we can get a general idea of what's going on. All right, so Cesspool Room, broken tower exposed to the sky, 70 feet from the broken tower to the floor. Cesspool itself is 50 feet down. Orcs are not aware of the passage to the mega dungeon. In room 2, we have 2 orcs on guard, wielding pole arms. One has 12 gold pieces, the other has 1 gold piece. I probably wrote that more simply. In room 3, we've got 8 orcs. 7 plus 1 leader, who has a 10 gold piece gem. And, okay. I'm just going to do this, because this is confusing. 7 orcs, plus 1 leader. Right, they're not going to have individual gold, because it's all kind of on the table. So 7 orcs plus 1 leader, except he's going to have a little bit extra gold in his pocket, because he's the leader, as noted. Let's see. They have spears, gambling, and being loud. They've got piles of coins on the table, 100 gold pieces in total, and copper and silver. So let's figure that out now. I think in BX, silver is worth 10 silver to a gold. So if we did, that'd be 1,000 silver if it was all gold. So that's actually a lot. So I'll do 50 gold pieces and 500 silver. That way it's, it doesn't seem like nothing. Total. Okay, I'm thinking about the copper at this point. All right, and then in room 4, we've got, I'm going to change the way this is written as well. We've got 9 orcs, plus a leader. And he's got this gem. Gold pieces, they've got spears, they're gambling and being loud. 800 gold pieces on the table in piles. Okay, good. Room 5 is going to be 5/10 are the chieftain's quarters, essentially, right? Depending on where he is. Okay, so this is the let's see. Let's make a note of what this is. This is chieftain meeting room. Throne made of, I think he'll have his throne made of like rough stone with carvings. Right, he's going to be on the, it's not even worth anything, but right. Let's figure out what kind of gems and jewelry and stuff he has before we wrap up. So he's got, in this room he's showing out, right? He's got 1,200, 1,200, and 1,400. And since they're different in this room, I'm going to make them things that he would have when he's in this room, right? So this is going to be, he's got to have a crown, right? Actually, he's going to, yeah. Gold and electrum crown with set with rubies, 14 gold pieces. He will have a scepter. Scepter of silver with gems inlaid in intricate. Nope. And patterns. And then some kind of like a heavy, I know it says jewelry, but I'm going to say heavy fur cloak with golden thread and electrum chain. Yeah, there we go. So he's got like he clearly stole this from somebody, right? Because he's an orc. If we want to make the room more funky, we can. Oh, I also should note the murder holes. Okay. On southeast corner, murder holes. Let's see, we'll say there's 4 of them. 4 small murder holes sized 4 long spears that sit next to the position. Cool. And then we got the chieftain in there. You know, it's a throne room. We can, because I mentioned a secret thing. Secret door under dirty rug. Leads to, I'm just going to say number 10. Okay. Which actually reminds me, I got to put number 11 in. We'll work our way down there, though. Okay. With my mouse again. Oh, okay, there it is. It gets so much smaller, it goes on this monitor. Okay, so let's see. 11. Secret room. Can hold 2 orcs with spears. Murder holes. Surprise on 1 through 4. Okay. That's 11. Going back up. Oh, I don't want to do that. Let's see. That's there. All right, let's go back where we were. So that's the chieftain meeting room. This is the barracks. Barracks. 30 cots and footlockers. Extra spears, trophies, heads, etc. And pieces of armor. Well, okay. This is basically going to be the same. Boom. I guess I should mention, I mean, I would always do this as a DM, but, you know, just in case somebody's reading this and they want to run this, up here at the Orc Guards, they're going to have a horn. And a horn to alert. The garrisons inside 2 intruders. And let's see, these guys will have the same. Period. Let's see. Let's come down here. Also, actually, they're gonna have something different because a horn will be no from the outside. They're gonna have large bell that is sounded when under attack. Same deal here. So, okay. Let's see, the meeting room, throne room, blah, blah, blah. Monsters, Chieftain. We got the 2 barracks. We got the, well, this is a barracks here. We got the second barracks here. Alrighty. Then we get the ogre. Okay, he's gonna have all of his treasure, of course. Filthy room with bones and other trophies. Several sacks made of rotted animal skin. Stinks. Okay, I'm not gonna find people. And he's gonna have all of his treasure here, which is 1,000 gold pieces, 400 silver pieces, 1,000 luster pieces. That's a lot of treasure. But that's an ogre. We have 4,000 silver. That's a lot of fucking treasure. Oops, excuse my language. You are not going to be able to just creep out with that treasure. That's for damn sure. Okay. These guys are, this is a prison. This is the ogre lair. And this is prison. Guarded by 2 orcs. With spears. And that could be good for a story hook, right? We don't need to fill that out right this second. Let's see. Prisoners based on any rumors / story hooks. And finally, we've got the Chieftain down here with his stuff. Okay, so this is going to be... okay. I'm going to put down here. Because there's only the 2 jewelry in here. So I'm actually going to make these 2 jewelry. The 1,000 gold pieces is... no, the 800 gold pieces is going to be bedclothes. They're dirty. Less cleaned, only worth 100 gold pieces because they're filthy. But, you know, whatever. And the piece of jewelry will be like some kind of a plaque. We'll say it's going to be a, because why would he have it in his bedroom, right? It's a plaque. No, it's going to be a statue. Golden statue of a foul god. There you go. Okay. That's still worth money, but it's, you know. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we've kind of, I know I kind of went fast there, but that's, you know, just kind of brainstorming out. But basically what we've got is we've rolled this thing up in the last one, right? We figured out what treasure was going to be there. we've now set this thing up. We gave them some kind of a, like, I don't need to write in all their tactics, right? I think it should be fairly clear what they're going to do. As I say that, I should probably look here in room 3, though I should write that there's a secret door. Secret door leads to the exterior. Will ambush or retreat. Right? Because it depends. Now, and also I should probably write down here in the ogre's den that I don't feel like ogres care about like valuable stuff, so I think he just has coins. But we could change it up. We'll see how I feel. And what I will say is many dirty and cramped tunnels head off into the darkness. Could be another way in / out. Right, we can play around with that. We don't need to really. One thing I like to do is keep my things open. Right, I don't want to be so secure and say like this is the only way in. Right, because right now we've got possible entry through the ogre's lair. If somebody figures out that you can dig through there, the ogre probably doesn't come in and out of there. I imagine the ogre comes in and out of the cesspool room. He's big. He can probably climb right out. You know, I mean, he's we can in fact. We can even make notes of that if we really want to make that clear to the person running it, right? We can say, well, the ogre is starts to broke down to the floor, rough, can be climbed with some risk. Okay. Maybe the ogre just climbs out of there. Who knows? Maybe he walks out the front door. We don't really know what the ogre does. But the point is you can get in and out of that way, possibly. Over where the cesspool is, you can get in from the top. The player characters, hopefully, if they've gone through the mega dungeon, will figure out the path to go in through the bottom if they don't mind crawling through some grossness. They'll have a really secret way in, right? Obviously, and then there's the front door. There's also the secret door if they can figure it out. If they somehow explore the outside of the space, they might find that secret door too, or if they observe the orcs coming and going, they might figure that out. So you've got 4, maybe 5 ways into this place, which is really what you want, right? The other thing that we have going on is that things can move around, right? You can come in this way, or this way, which means you can go in and out that way, right? There's also a path from here to here, which could then lead into here, right? Or of course you can keep going this way to get into here. You can get into here from here. You can get off, so you have to start there, but you can get from there. So you've got lots of ways to kind of circle around. I mean, you want to make a lot of options. This is probably not the best example. You can do them even better with circular passages and stuff, but I figured this way they've got enough ways to go. If the orcs need to retreat back, let's say beyond 6, let's say they have to come back all the ways to here, they know about this passage here, right? Let me clear this. I feel like I'm doing sports announcements. If the party pushed them back to here, let's say, and they're holding a front here, they know, that they could go this way, take the secret passage, and come back up possibly behind the PCs. So they've got options, right? It's not like they can't do that. Well, at least the Chieftain knows. I mean, maybe his closest guard. So you can figure that out as you're running it. So you're not just going to have this thing where they just walk in and kill things little by little. Also, by setting up the idea that they have alarm bells and stuff, I think that's really important because that's going to put them in the position where the players in the position where they're going to have to, if the alarm bells get set off, they're going to know that they're getting ready for a fight. Or if they can figure out that's the thing they do, they can stop them from doing the alarms, which will then give them an advantage. So you've got a lot of options. If the 2 guards up front are killed pretty easily, they might, again, this is why I said they're loud and they're gambling. If the players are careful, they might be able to get into that room. Maybe throw a sleep spell on the first group of orcs, take them out. There's a bunch of gold there. Take that gold and get back out. Or if they want to keep risking it, they can keep moving forward, right? I mean, there's lots of ways to do this. Let me know what you guys would like to see here. If you want to, what we can add to this. I'll probably flesh it out, kind of not on video, because I don't know if that's that interesting, unless you think it's interesting watching me go, what's a good adjective? But either way, hopefully you're enjoying this, and we'll get back to other stuff. Go ahead, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the good stuff, and I'll see you next time.